What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja, and today we're going to be talking about some details regarding a new mode that is coming to Call of Duty 2022, which is known as Modern Warfare 2. It's a very 2E topic or title. So yes, we're going to talk about the new leaks, new stuff, and the information we'll be talking about comes directly cited from Charlie Intel, link down below for the full article. So first off, let's get into the first details regarding this leak. So according to COD leaker Rouse Valve, Modern Warfare 2 will feature a multiplayer mode called Attackers vs Defender, which appears to take heavy inspiration from Ubisoft's Rainbow Six Siege mode. Now, do take this all with a massive grain of salt, and we'll get into why I think you should more than others, especially recently we talked about the Escape from Tarkov mode and other new details which seem a little bit more plausible. And definitely you should take a grain of salt, but not as much as this. So the whole concept of this new mode I love in general. I absolutely love Rainbow Six Siege. It's one of my favorite shooters I've ever played, and recently on PC I've gotten back into the game. I will be covering more content with it because I do enjoy it, and I'm definitely gonna be sticking around with it this time around. But again, this is a very dynamic, very, I guess, competitive shooter, and it's been very successful. We're talking about year 7 of content going on, and that's pretty remarkable for a game to be a live service for 7 years. So it says a lot about the experience itself, and Call of Duty wanting to tackle on that experience, I think is nothing, I guess, crazy. I think they could do a solid job, especially Team Infinity Ward, but doing this for a multiplayer mode, this is a little bit maybe on the side of this is too much for a mode that might not ever get full scale that other modes will get of this game and of Warzone. So why waste the resources and time in it? So first off, Rainbow Six Siege inspiration. If it's heavily inspired, that means there's one-shot headshots. It's going to be extremely hardcore and slow paced. And that's going to talk about creating a whole new sandbox, whole new attachment system. And especially if these are going to have hero-like stuff, like these operators will have a special gadget and things like that, maybe even specific loadouts, then that's a lot of balancing. That's a lot of QA time. That's a lot of work. And yes, this was worked on for Modern Warfare 2019, but still, as it stands now, this is just, I think, too much for a game to handle, for a dev team to handle, especially when there's so many different moving parts that Infinity Ward's working on specifically. We know they're working on the campaign. We know they're working on the multiplayer, which has heavy inspiration and I guess taken bits from Modern Warfare 2 remastered from 2009. We do know that they are working on a brand new, I guess you say, largest scale battle royale-ish mode called the Designated Zone right now. I forget exactly what we call it, the DMZ. So it's definitely a placeholder name, but they're working on a lot of different components of the game and a brand new map for that mode, which seems to be or at least all eyes are pointing on this mode also having the same map as the Warzone map. But again, they're designed very entwined with each other. So again, that's a lot of production time. That's a lot of time on hand of what's going on. And from what we understand of how the Call of Duty cycle works, Tom Henderson has stated that they haven't really entered full-scale production just yet, which is kind of interesting. I'm guessing it comes to just final-ish stuff. They're all figuring out what's going to be in the game, what's not going to be in the game, and then last year they hammer out everything else that is in the game. The COD dev cycle is a little bit confusing when it comes to what they consider production time, so that's why I say it's kind of hard to explain. So all that being said, a Rainbow Six Siege inspired mode is a bit much. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's something that the team will likely do, especially since if it's going to be such a niche style mode that compared to Call of Duty, what Call of Duty is compared to what Rainbow Six Siege is, I don't know if they could be truly successful with the player base, especially with the other options being given to the players. But I will say this, not the only person that believes this. We've gotten more stuff that they kind of verify what their sources are seeing, and it seems like this is not 100% likely to happen. So we continue down with, while Rouse Valve believes this mode will revive in Modern Warfare 2, known leakers Tom Henderson and the Modern Warfare 2 Ghost claim their sources say it was a scrap mode from Modern Warfare 2019, and they haven't heard or seen anything regarding it coming to Modern Warfare 2. So again, known leakers who are pretty spot on with their stuff have saying that they haven't heard anything about this coming to Modern Warfare 2. Now, it doesn't necessarily say that, let's say, there is no mode in development, that this mode won't be in the playlist or whatever, but at the same time, if their sources are saying they haven't heard anything for it, and these are devs working on, I guess, level design and certain components of the game itself, then it's very likely that this isn't going to be, I guess you could say, a thing. However, there is some interesting stuff that does make this a little plausible. So Henderson goes on to say, he clarifies that he doesn't not believe the mode was coming, but at the same time, he's inclined to believe the people he knows at the, good connections at the studio. But at the same time, there's certain components of this mode that is pretty, I guess you could say, possible. So some of the things Ralph Valve said with that this will be on a single map similar to Call of Duty 4's CQB test, but a little bit or much larger. Now there will be destruction, there will be injuries, and pretty much a lot of it is pretty much identical to Siege. So it does make it possible that we will potentially see a mode like this, but at the same time, again, I do think this is a little bit too much for the dev team at Infinity Ward to do. If we find out that this mode itself has nothing to do with Infinity Ward, that we have a separate studio working on this mode itself, then if we get rumors upon that, then I will believe that mode is a possibility. But if we don't hear anything on a separate studio working on this mode, I don't think the time and production value of it will be any worth to the game. So I would say definitely pass on this rumor. I mean, look forward to it. If more evidence presents itself and I'll cover it, then maybe this will be a thing and I'll definitely check it out because I love that style of shooter. But at the same time, guys, I don't know how much I can believe of this rumor, of this leak. So I'm going to pass on this. I don't think this is a thing. I don't expect it to be released. We could be wrong. We could be right, but who knows? With that being said, that's all I got to say on this topic itself and on this video in general. Again, this is a very high production mode, and I think for the amount of moving components for Modern Warfare 2, I don't think this is something they want to do or spend time on. So let me know your thoughts down below if you got anything to think about whether or not you believe or don't believe the leaks, if you guys will be open to a mode like this or just maybe not open. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely drop this video a like, helps out the video a lot. And if you guys are new here, want more Call of Duty content from me, or Destiny content, or Apex content, or Rainbow Six Siege content, we got a lot of content planned for the new year. Definitely hit that subscribe button. With that being said, that's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.